Hi guys, welcome back to Air Vlogs. We're back with another video. We're shaking things up with a wee bit of European action to discuss, along with some Premier Division action coming this weekend. We're joined with JP and Luke. Lads, how are you?
How are you, lads? How are you?
Oh, good, yeah.
Good stuff. Happy days. So yeah, we'll crack on with some European action. We have 3 League Ireland teams in action this week. We have Shamrock Rovers taking on Hibernians of Malta in the Champions League qualifier. And Keith is heading to this match. And by the time the show goes out, the match will more likely have just kicked off. So Keith will have a vlog for that there. So be sure to check that out whenever it comes out. And hopefully, it's a positive result for Shamrock Rovers at home in Tala. The other match is for the Europa Conference League, the second year running, and it's a Bala against Sligo Rovers. Bala, of course, coming from Wales, and they play their home games at Mays Tegid, and they're a team who plays in the Premier Division in Wales. They're founded in 1880, 142 years ago, so they've a long old history. They've a ground that holds 3,000 people, and last season they finished second, and they were 21 points off first place, the New Saints. I think coming into I think Sligo they'll definitely have a chance. Of course, the first leg this coming Thursday is away in Wales, and I know Sligo have a lot of interest. Buses and so on, to get over there and support the team. To be honest, I'd be fairly confident. It's obviously a European tie. It's a good chance, to get. I don't think there's any away goals in the European competitions anymore, but it'd be a good chance for Sligo to get a goal or two out in Wales and then bring it back to the showgrounds then on the following Thursday. Luke, are you confident for a Sligo Rovers perspective here?
Yeah, you should. I think the Sligo Rovers fans should definitely be confident going into this game. It's probably a good draw for them as well, and it's not too far to go, so it's not a lot of travelling for the players, which is good because they still have the league games as well to come in the next few weeks, and Sligo are in a position in the league where they're still going for Europe, and they had a good result the other night against Shell, so they're still in the running for European spots. And they're doing well under the new manager. So, they'll be full of confidence going into this game. They'll think it's a good opportunity to, keep it nice and high. They'll be happy. Look, they just want to go into this game and give themselves a good opportunity when they go back to the showgrounds to be still in the tie and to be able then to, you have that home advantage then to get them through to the next round. But, even away, I think this is a good opportunity for them to get a good start in Europe, and they'll be very, very happy with the draw they've probably gotten. So I look forward to seeing how they do.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a few other teams that they kind of wanted to avoid, and they did that. I think important part to make, JP, is that Bala have their season finished, where with Sligo obviously we're still playing. It's the summer league, and I think that'll be an advantage, you could say. Bala, I think they finished up just around May there, so it's been a month or two they've been playing away at friendlies. They played a friendly there against Cliftonville recently there, and they beat them 2-1. Do you think that'll come into it? Match fitness and so on, and kind of. Obviously Sligo will kind of have the upper hand in that there because they're midway through the season.
I think it will. Like the Welsh teams, they play something similar to the rest of the UK and Northern Ireland. Like, so it's a great draw for Sligo. I think everybody thought that when the draw came out, and they'll look to put in a bit better show than they did last year. Like they got what looked to be a good draw last year against an Icelandic team, and they ended up going out in the first round, and everybody saw that as an opportunity miss for Sligo. And this is a very good draw for them. Like, as say, Bala, although they finished second, I think the Welsh League it's very much a one-team league, really, because TNS I think they've won in the last 18 years. I think they finished outside the top two once, and they've won it.
Yeah, 21 points was the margin. They won it.
It's probably as best as you're going to get, really, in the West League, because you look at the players at TNS and that are signing in the close season and stuff like that. So finishing second is a great achievement in that league, and it's going to be, make no bones about it, it'll be a tough game for Sligo, but I think they'll be disappointed if they don't come through this tie. As you say, there's no away goal, so even if they go out there and they maybe lose 1-0 or 2-0, they're still very much on the tie because of the lack of the away goal rule now. And a few years ago, Derry played a Welsh team in the Europa League, and they beat them 9-0 over 2 legs, and that's when Derry wasn't having a good season. So I think it was Aberystwyth we played. So I'd very much expect Sligo, they maybe not win it that comfortably over the 2 legs, but I very much expect them to go through.
Very good. Yeah. What would you give a score prediction? Would you think 1 or 2-0 away over?
I think Sligo have been in, as you say, they've been in match practice since March. Bala Town have been out of practice since probably the start of May. So, and I know pre-season friendlies is just about that. They're playing friendlies. That's about building your fitness and match fitness. You don't get the same energy as you would in a competitive match. So I would very much expect Sligo to go out here and win the game. I can see Sligo scoring at least 2 in this game. And I think that they'll bring a lead back to the showgrounds. So they will.
Yeah, it's the same with myself. I was actually thinking of a 2-0 myself, and definitely a safe journey to all the Sligo fans. And I'm sure they'll be heard. I look forward to sitting down and watching that match. On Thursday.
The thing is, if they get through this tie, it's a trip to Scotland, so there'll not be much travelling for them.
Yeah, they'll be happy enough. And Luke, what are you thinking? Do you think they'll?
Yeah, I think they'll win this game away. I think they'll win it 2-1. But I think it'll be, that they'll go into it. Obviously, they're going to be going in with confidence. So I think they will win the game. And as JP made a great point about match fitness and that, like there's nothing better. Like, you can have all the preseason games and all, but when you're playing competitively from March to now, like it will stand to Sligo. And even over the 2 legs, it might not stand in the first game, but when it comes to the second game, when Sligo will be able to go into that and they'll have a lot more sharpness about them, and I think they'll just be too strong for Bala.
Yeah, that's up there. So no, we'll have to see. Obviously, as JP mentioned there, the disappointment of last year. I was actually disappointed for them as well. Going out in that first day against the Icelandic team, I think that was definitely an opportunity miss. I think Sligo fans were a bit annoyed that there, but hopefully it'll be regardless of what team you support, hopefully it'll be a good result for the League Ireland teams. We'll move on to the second tie on Thursday night. It's the meeting of Derry City and Riga in the Brandywell 7:45 kickoff there. Riga, it's a strange story. They only founded in 2014. They're based in obviously Riga, the capital of Latvia, and they've been playing in the Versliga, which is the Latvian Premier, since 2016. 2018 they appointed a coach called Victor Skimpik, and he managed to lead them to 3 Premier League titles in a row, the Latvian Premier League, 18, 19 and 20, as well as the Cup in 2018. They've only played, they've been around since 2014, so they've only played in Europe 21 times, and they've only won 7 of them ties. And they play in the Stadion Skonto in the city of Riga, and it's a capacity of 8,207. Last year they finished 4th in the league, behind the leaders, Riga FC or Riga FS, which is the other team in Riga. It's a weird comparison because the stadium at Riga FC only holds about 800 or so, where you have this team which was founded in 2014 and they have a capacity of 8,000. They're 16 points behind them. And Valmiera and Liepāja last year, so they finished 4th, and they notched that Conference League place. I think this will be possibly a tougher match for Derry, than what we're saying about Sligo. Obviously Derry, getting the win last week in Derrymund, and then before that UCD, so they've kind of got 2 wins under their belt. So they'll be happy enough coming into this. JP, do you think? I'd say they'd be happy enough with a Brandywell crowd behind them too. There could be a chance to take something with them to Latvia next week.
It's an interesting one because I know they're founded in 2016, but I think they're a Phoenix club of the team that we played before in 2008 or 2009. We played Skonto Riga, and
there was a amalgamation there. Yeah,
and there was an amalgamation with another club in Riga, and it's the same stadium where we went there and drew 1-1 and then beat them in the Brandywell. But look, that's over a decade ago. From whenever we played them, and it's an interesting one. You said that they won 3 league titles in a row, and they finished in 4th place last year, like Derry did. They're currently sitting in 3rd, the same as Derry. I don't know much about the Latvian league. They know whether their quality has dropped or the quality of the teams around them has increased over the last couple of years or whatnot. But I think they've got, he used to play at Dundalk last year. His name escapes me. Jakovis or something like that there.
Europe Kovcic, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's playing there, so it'll be an interesting one. Rory Higgins, I know after we beat UCD, he was on the plane the next day to go and watch them, and it was a top of table clash, and they lost to the leaders that night 2-0. So I'm sure Derry will have their homework done. And the pleasing thing is that we're going into Europe on the back of a good performance against Bohemians, and the 2 goals that we conceded were 2 long range efforts. So that's a pleasing thing. It's been different if we'd been going in still without a win in so many matches, but the fact that we're going in now into Europe with 2 wins under our belt, and confidence is bound to be up again. And we have a new signing came in the door yesterday in Ryan Graydon. So hopefully we can start to maybe get 1 or 2 back over the next week or so. And maybe we might have another one back before Thursday or the second leg. But I think the main thing for Derry is going to Riga. We still have a chance.
Yeah.
They still have a chance. If we can come out of this one with a draw, as we know, touched on it in the Sligo game, there's no more away goals. So you come out of it with a draw, you're not necessarily having to go out there to score or whatever. So for me, if we can come out with still in the tie, going to Riga, that'll be the main thing.
Yeah, and that's it. I think it's close to be a sellout in the Brandywell too, which is great. So hopefully, the Derry fans will get behind them. I might even head him myself. Maybe I'll have to see the crack, but yeah.
You'll see European football.
I'll just have to, I'll have to head in something away, and I wouldn't sit in with them all fucking Derry boys. They end up getting beat up or something. But yeah, Luke, what are your thoughts on this match? Do you think would you agree with what JP is saying there? It's important to keep the tie alive at home and then bring something with them to Latvia next week.
Yeah, of course, but they'll want to go in and they want to win this first leg, and go over then to Riga in a good position, because obviously that'll be a tough place to go to, and it's not close, and it's a bit of travelling for the players. It's exciting for them. You know what I mean? They're going into this game after 2 wins in a row now, and they went obviously the 7 or 8 games without a win, and now they're 2 wins in a row. They'll just want to keep carrying this in both league and in Europe now. So they'll be looking at this, and they want to go as far as possible in Europe. They've heavily invested in their squad this season. They done really well last season to get Europe, and they're going into this now with a squad that they wanted. And they've obviously added Ryan Graydon from Longford Town, who I've heard very good things about. He was with Bray as well last season. So it'll be interesting to see what way he'll fit in with the way Derry play. And obviously, I think it is a bit of an interesting signing that Higgins has brought him in. So it'll be interesting to see what way he plans on playing him. I think he'll be there for depth, and having the quality and depth. This is it now. This is where they want to be, and they want to be contesting the likes of Shamrock Rovers and that. And you look at Shamrock Rovers squad, and they've got depth in everywhere. So this is what they want to build now. You know what I mean? Is get depth everywhere. And I think Graydon is a great addition for them. And he's heading now into full-time football, so good opportunity for him as well. So going into the game, it's going to be a good opportunity for Derry to go to Riga with a good performance. And obviously Brandywell, you're saying, is going to be close to selling out as you'd expect. So the fans will be right behind them, and they'll make it difficult for Riga, and I think Derry will come out on top in this tie.
Yeah, and I think it's important. They actually done very well to get into Europe, considering they had lost the 7 games at the start of the season last year, JP, where they had
lost the first 4 and drew 2.
Yeah, that's it.
Then Higgins came in, won his first game, and kicked on
from there, and they also got the European place, European place then with the cup one. Hey, they did do very well to get into it. So yeah, hopefully they'll get the a positive result for their for that merit. I'll be sitting on the way end anyway, just in case you're wondering. Have the Riga top ordered there as well?
You're a liar.
He's a liar. He's a Derry fan. He's a closet Derry fan.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Anyway, JP, we'll get your prediction.
I'll say 2-1 Derry.
Derry and Luke.
1-0 Derry.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna go with 1-1, and then I'll take it to Latvia with them next week. And yeah, no, hopefully best of luck to all the League Ireland sides. Obviously, we mentioned already. Shamrock Rovers are playing Hibs on the Tuesday, so that's the Champions League, and then we've got to mention Pats as well. They're just waiting on the winners of the.
Congrats to them for getting through the first round, by the way.
Yeah, big congrats. They got to buy into the second round, and they're probably more likely the team that they await is NS Mira in Slovenia.
They played Spurs last year in the Conference League. I think
they did, yeah. So that'll be a tight enough.
Spurs, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They did. Yeah, Spurs completely capitulated in that group, which is good because I'm an Arsenal fan. But
Same.
yeah, but yeah, no. Best luck to all the teams, and for the greatness of the league, I think it's important you get behind the teams, even if you don't, even if they're your rivals, and yeah, no, we'll definitely. Hopefully, we'll be back here next week, and there'll be some positive results to take with them. To their away legs next week. The away legs are the 14th of July. So, yeah, best luck to all the teams, and yeah, we'll crack on with the Premier Division action for the upcoming week. So we have a match on a Thursday, and then 2 matches on the Friday. The match on the Thursday is the meeting of Bows and UCD. At the UCD Bowl, strange enough, time to have a match. So yeah, obviously Bows having a game on the Thursday. I think there's something going on there with the other teams in Europe. We'll say no more. The last 2 times that the sides meet, Bows came out 3-0 winners in Stadium back in April, and then at the start of the season in March, it was a 1-1 draw in the UCD Bowl. We've seen, we obviously mentioned this already. UCD have been tough enough to break down, especially at home. Bows, obviously losing last time out. They've lost the last 2. Obviously played Shamrock Rovers before that, and they got that one to Shelbourne at home to Shelbourne. So they're they're still up and down. They're still sitting in 6th place. Sorry, and they they're 6 points off 5th place Sligo. So I would fancy them to get a win here, although it will be tough enough. They'll be hard to break down. I'm gonna go for 2-1 here. Your thoughts, lads? What are you first, Luke?
Yeah. I don't know. It's. I think Bows will win the game, but I just don't think it's going to be comfortable for them at all. I think UCD are going to really make it difficult, and they frustrated Dundalk tonight for 50 odd minutes, and then obviously they sort of took control of Dundalk as expected in that game. But I think Bows won't have the sort of quality maybe that Dundalk had. So I think that if UCD can hold them for as long as possible, then I think it will frustrate them. And UCD, you never know with UCD, they could get something from this game. It's quite possible, but I don't know what Bohemians at the minute. It's like 6th in the table. They're good. Well, how many points did you say they're off Sligo?
6.
That's a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a lot. Obviously, look, it's two results got our way, then, and they're back in it, but it's not where they wanted to be at this point of the season. But I think it's probably where we expected them to be. We've mentioned that before about there's players they've lost in their squads and that, but this game is going to be tough for them, and I think actually UCD might get something from the game, but you'd think maybe just with Bows is a bit more quality than UCD. I think Bows will just slightly shade it.
Yeah, no, definitely will be tight enough. And Bows, I think I've seen it in a couple of places. People were saying that that's Bows' season over now. But I wouldn't say that now yet. But they're saying it's going to be main club. They're confined to main club. Now I wouldn't think that myself. Now they're not far off. The European places of the game. 4th place. They're only 9 points off, or 9 points off. So there's still plenty of football to be played. JP, I'll say they've brought in a few players. We've talked about them over the past few weeks. One of them was Josh Kerr. Who are the others? The name escapes me.
John Sullivan.
Yeah, John Sullivan. There's one of them, and then
they brought another winger in as well.
Scottish left back as well.
Yeah, Scottish left back. So they brought in a few players.
Or no, sorry, he's Dublin. They brought him in from Scotland.
Ryan Burke. Yeah, Ryan Burke guy. So he's a left back. And he came from Mansfield Town, I think it was. So yeah, no, they have a few players that are have come in over the past few weeks. Do you think it'll bolster their squad a bit? There's rumours. Obviously, Dundalk, he might be heading away. We don't know if he's going to go at the minute in this window, or is he going to go at the end of the season. There's definitely rumours that he scored the last night. Do you think, there's a chance anyway that these players will kind of improve the squad, with Josh Kerr especially. He was at Derry, as you mentioned before. Do you see them kind of getting a comfortable one here, or will it be tough?
I think it'll be tough because Luke touched on there the UCD frustrated Dundalk for the best part of 50 minutes the other night, and the week before they done the same to Derry, and Derry only beat them with a penalty kick.
Yeah.
And saying that, though, the keeper had to make a couple of saves, they denied Derry from taking the lead. But it's wee things like that whenever going against you, you just start to put a bit of doubt into your mind. And from memory of the last meeting at UCD Bowl, UCD apparently, I think, battered Bows for the most part of the game and only come away with a draw. And it was probably quite comfortable then for them in Dalymount Park. And Keith Long will be looking for that type of performance in this game. It's an opportunity with the likes of Sligo and Pat's not playing this weekend for Bows. They close the gap, and this is the ideal situation whenever you're playing the team at bottom of the table. And we know UCD haven't got the quality in their squad that they did have earlier in the season, but they've probably adapted their play, their style of play. They suit that until they can get maybe bodies in the door. But in terms of Josh Kerr, he was at Derry, and I think he was one of these guys that could play right back or centre back, and he played most of the time at Derry at right back. But I think he picked up an injury, and we didn't see him then the rest of the season because he ended up back at Brighton, I think it was then. And I know he's been in the lower leagues in Scotland. I think he was Hibernians or something. It's a player who knows the league. And he will strengthen Bows. Like, there's no doubt about that. He's a good player. In terms of the other players, it'll bolster their numbers in the initially. Whether it'll bolster the quality within the squad remains to be seen. But there's no doubt about it. Bows probably do need signings, as do probably most other clubs within the league. Going into the second half of the season, and I'm not sure any of them played against Derry on Friday night. Well, the 1st of July meant that they weren't ready in time, but I'm sure that Keith Long will be getting them in for this game, if not on the bench.
Yeah, they'll be ready to try and improve the team. They're still in a chance. We get a score prediction from me, JP.
I'll go 2-0 Bows.
Bows and Luke.
Yeah, just to give you a score prediction in a sec. But even if they lose the void, I would be worried for Bows, to be quite honest, because I've said this season that he's been by far their best player. Like, every game I've seen him, he influences the game. I know he quite influenced the game against Derry the other night with an OG and a goal, but still, like, even then, like, he scores the OG and then he goes down the other end and scores a cracker, like, do you know what I mean? And that's just the quality he has. So he'll be a loss for them if he goes. I don't know what the latest is on that. I know that MK Dons are looking at him, so I don't know what will happen there. But if they do lose him, I'd be worried for them. But he'll still be with them for Thursday anyways, most likely. So I think Bows will win the game 1-0.
No, yeah, it'll definitely be tough for them. And with the void, there's a lot of players going across the MK Dons, and if he does go, best luck to him. I'm sure, it'll be Bows. He'll feel the impact of that there. He's been he's been a bright spark, you could say, in the Bows team the past few seasons. But now we'll have to see what happens. We'll move on to the Friday match. It's the Louth Derby between your Drogheda United, Luke, and Dundalk. Obviously 2 meetings before. It's been a win apiece for the two sides. The last time out in April, it was a 4-0 win for Dundalk over Drogheda in Oriel. Probably flattering, really, to be honest. And then the match before that, then it was Dean Williams who got the goal. It was a 3 goals, a 1-0 to Drogheda in the game park. Drogheda still sitting in 8th place. We talked about it last week. They're still, they're looking up above themselves. Obviously, Shelbourne losing last week, they had if they had won their match, they would have been level on points with Shelbourne. There's still 3 points between them, and there's 10 points ahead of Harps in 9th place. So they're still definitely looking up above them. There's no real change in the table since last week. We're with Dundalk. They obviously got that draw with Shelbourne last week, and then they followed it up then with a win last week. So they'll be, the form really continues for Dundalk with the win over UCD. The derby, it always comes into it, as we always say. Anything can happen. Hey, I'm going to go with a fairly entertaining match here. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Luke, we'll go to you first.
It's the fixture you always look forward to be honest. Playing against Dundalk, your local rivals, and it's the one you always, when the fixtures come out at the start of the season, the one you always look for. I'm looking forward to the game, of course, and the atmosphere is always, for when we play against Dundalk, is always very good. But like that night we played Dundalk in Headingley Park, we won 1-0, was one of the best atmospheres and one of the best nights that we've probably had in a long time there. So we'll be looking to replicate that, of course. I know the lads the Drogheda ultras were already looking for people to get in early and all. So even if you're a neutral, I think this is the game to go to this weekend. If it's possible. Because it's going to be a good game, I reckon. And it's always a good atmosphere. So on the game itself, though, I think Dundalk are going into this game with a lot of confidence, of course. I know the derby and that, but they look like a really tough team to beat. And they look a lot different to when we played them back in March. I think Dundalk are just going to shade it in this game. I think, unfortunately, because of just the quality they're possessing at the minute, and it's frightening, to be quite honest. I think it's really, really a tough team at the minute. So I think Dundalk will shade the game, but it's a derby, you never know. So hopefully, I'm just hoping that Drogheda, can put in a better performance than Friday night, and can get the crowd behind them, and who knows. But
that's it. Who knows? Fair play to you for not being biased. JP, your thoughts on that there? Do you think Dundalk will come away with the point here, or do you think Drogheda will pick up another point? Obviously, Shells are playing Harps, and we'll get onto that there. But if Harps were to cause an upset against Shells, as they've done twice this season, already, if Drogheda were to say pick up a win here, they'd be level on points with Shelbourne in 7th place. So I don't think they'll be too worried about the team below them, as we mentioned already, with Drogheda. But it's another chance for Dundalk. Obviously, that game in hand, they have 2 games in hand, on Shamrock Rovers. There's 10 points in it now at the minute, so I think it's important they win these games in hand, and this is kind of one of them. Obviously, because we have had the Monday matches where Shamrock Rovers were playing Sligo, and so on, the European teams playing each other. So I think it's a big opportunity for Dundalk. What are your thoughts?
It's hard to know, because Drogheda have had some good results at home this year. They've beaten Rovers, they've beaten Dundalk, they've drawn with Derry, and they do make it a difficult venue. It's always been a difficult venue to go to down over the years, and I don't know what it is, but they always seem to maybe pull out a performance in the derby, and it's probably because it is a derby, and Luke says it's the one that they always look forward to at the start of the season. And they put up a really good display earlier in the season and got the win. And unfortunately for them, they couldn't replicate it at Oriel Park. But it's hard to see past a Dundalk win. To be honest, they really good confidence. I think they've only dropped points in one of their last, is it 7 or 8, which is the 0-0 against Shelbourne. So it's hard to see past a Dundalk win, but I say in derbies, form really does go out the window. And but for me, I can only see a Dundalk win in this game.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention they've kept a lot of clean sheets in their past few matches. They've 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 clean sheets in a row. And their defence has been fairly strong, and that's definitely something to mention. It's really helped them, and obviously, Agent Keith coming out there on Twitter the last day saying that Mark Connolly is staying, for the rest of the season, which is a big boost for them. Him and
O'Donnell, and then I seen O'Donnell refuse to really comment on that, which is I don't know if you take that as a good sign or not for the Dundalk fans, but he refused to say whether he's staying or going, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll have to trust Agent Keith's word in that there. We'll see. But I think it's important to see with Macari as well. I think Macari is staying. So yeah, no, it'll be, I think it's a big part of that Dundalk side. So yeah, we'll go with score picks and view, JP, sir.
I'll say 1-0 Dundalk.
No, and Luke.
2-1 Dundalk, I think.
2-1. No, you said it. I said 2-2. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, we'll move on to the final match. It's the meeting of Harps and Shells at Talca Park. Harps, having their 2 solitary ones over the season so far, and they've come against Shelbourne, obviously 3-0 down in Talca the last time they met in March, and then obviously the 1-0 with the Barry McNamee goal in April. So yeah, Harps holding up enough the year. They beat these are the only team they can beat, really. It's what the table says. They have nothing if the year going down there. I definitely put them on for a chance to get a draw here at least. Harps did a battling performance last week. They did frustrate Rovers in the first half, but it was just that killer goal. I think you kind of felt the goal was going to come eventually, but it was just a killer just before the break. And then Harps kind of, Rovers kind of never got out of a second gear in the second half. And with Harps, the way Harps were playing, it was just, it was really just, it was just waiting for a Rovers mistake, ball over the top or whatever, and McWoods was going to get in, but playing balls over the top, it was just what's the point in having a midfield if you're just going to do that? So I'll stop ranting now, but yeah, with Shells, they obviously losing the last time out, and they got the draw with Dundalk before, and they've lost the last 2 before that. So they had got into a bit of form recently, but they've kind of dipped there the last 4 matches. They'll be definitely nothing to fear. They'll be hoping to, Harps going to be in their bogey team, you could say, for the season so far. But like Drogheda for Harps last year, the only team that Harps didn't beat. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that there, JP? Do you think Shelbourne will come away, or will Harps cause another upset and get their 3rd win?
It's could be a psychological thing for Fan Harps, like it could go work in their favour, like it. Shelbourne, I know when they went up to Fan Park the last time and they lost, they went in there in really good form.
Yeah.
Approaching that game, and we thought it would be a routine one for them, and it didn't work out that way. And down in Talca Park, Fan Harps absolutely bossed them, like. So there's always one team in a season that you struggle to beat, and as you said last year, Fan Harps' team that they didn't beat was Drogheda. And for Shelbourne, it could work out this year that this team that they struggle to beat is Fan Harps, and for Fan Harps, they'll be disappointed because they've 2 wins under their belt this season, and both of them have been against Shelbourne, and they've dropped 4 points to UCD.
Yeah.
Which is what is keeping UCD in the fight at the bottom at the minute. So, and when you look at it, then you think if Harps hadn't picked up them 2 wins, they'd be in deep trouble. Like, so,
yeah.
This is a chance for Shelbourne. They push themselves up the table. With the likes of Derry and Sligo and Pats and all not playing this weekend. It's a chance for them as they push themselves up the table and get themselves into that hunt. Not that I think that they'll be there come the end of the season, but as we approach the end of the summer season, they could put themselves in the mix, definitely. But I just think Van Harps might just sneak another point at least out of this game.
And Luke, you're thinking? Obviously Harps getting the 2 wins over them, as JP mentioned, it'll definitely come down to a psychological battle, and Damien will want to kind of make 2 wrongs into a right, you could say. 2 losses and then into a win, So yeah, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Duffer has got to probably be preparing his team the most he's probably done this season for this game. When you think about it, really, because he's lost them twice, he will not want to make it 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with a team that's below him. You know what I mean? He wouldn't want that. Like, it's not something he'd want at all. So I don't know. Like, I think Shell's going to win the game. I think they're just going to really be up for this one. I think their crowd are going to be up for it as well, because they're not going to want to, lose to Finn Harps again. You know what I mean? It's just not what they want. So they'll be going into this game. They've obviously lost the last 2 games. I think it is. Oh no, they've lost. They haven't won in the last 3 games. So That's what it is, and they'll be wanting to, you know, bounce back as best as possible against Finn Harps here. You know, they were very hard done by against Sligo Rovers the other night, so with a few decisions and that. So I think they'll just about win this game, but I think Finn Harps could make it difficult. And I actually, you never know. I think Finn Harps could even get something out from this game. So you know, anything's possible.
What score are you going to go with?
2-1 Shells.
2-1. I'm going to go with 2-1 Harps, and hopefully, you know, there'll be a good crowd down. I'll back them this week. I haven't been to be backing them recently, but I've been very pessimistic. But I'm going to go with 2-1, and there'll be a good Harps crowd down. So you know, hopefully that'll push them on as we've seen in Dailymount so far this season. And JP, your score prediction?
1-1.
1-1. Good stuff. So it wouldn't be a bad point for Harps, you know, away from home and so on, and another point on the board, and then you're only 9 points off Drogheda. But Shells will definitely be looking to make that kind of bogey team, going to make that bogey team go away kind of thing before they get the third win. But yeah, that's basically it. Lads, cheers for tuning in. As we mentioned already, Keith is going to be at the Shamrock Rovers and Hibernians game, so you have a vlog out for that there. You'll also be vlogging the Bows match against UCD and also the Louth Derby between Drogheda and Louth. So that's all to come in the next few days. So yeah, just keep her locked in, and cheers to the lads for coming on. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, just give we a like, as it helps the channel to grow. So yeah, cheers lads for coming on, and don't forget to leave your predictions in the comments, and best of luck to all the European teams. It's good to see, you know, League Ireland teams doing well, regardless of who you support, you know, in Europe, and hopefully, you know, it makes the league kind of stand out if you see a team making it to the group stage. So yeah, no, hopefully it'll be all positive results. And
I'll have that Derry top ready for you for today.
That's perfect. I have the Riga one ordered. You don't even need that Derry top. Cheers lads for coming on.
Move on. Cheers.